Dynasty, I put Barkley number 1, but if it's just 2020 redraft, we're talking, I put McCaffrey 1, even though I'm worried as hell about his career, the length of his career. I put top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
I think I put Barkley number 2 or Cook number 2, but I'd be fine with either one.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
And then Zeke Elliott 4 or 3. I could go either way on some of these guys. Then is it Kamara? I think it probably is, but we'll see. We'll see how he finishes the year. Is it Chubb after that, or will Chubb be one of those players that comes and goes? We don't know. Like, I mean, he had a great end of the year last year, and really good year, and this year he's been on fire. So if he finishes on fire and stays healthy, no question he's a top 6 overall pick probably next year. But if he gets banged up at all and Hunt comes in and does well, then you're going to have one of those situations where everybody's saying you're an absolute idiot for even mentioning Nick Chubb not being in the top 5 running backs. Right. From those comments to everyone and their mother is doubting him and ranking him like in the outside the top 20 overall. It could go either way. If anybody thinks they can tell the predict the future on that until we see Chubb finish the entire year. We still have not a full half of a season left, but we're just under half of a season left. It's not like we're at week 12.
And I'll tell you what, if the Browns and that whole organization, if Freddie Kitchens could have coached this team a little bit better and given them a fighting chance, I think that Chubb would have been even better of a fantasy running back than he's been. I think that Kareem Hunt wouldn't have the opportunity that he is otherwise going to have. I think that because the Browns were run into the ground, and I do think it has a lot to do with the coaching staff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to do with the coaching staff. But Chubb, I can tell you right now in the comments right now, if I post this clip on Instagram, it's going to be like, "Are you crazy?" No one's going to listen to what I'm actually saying. Chubb is a top 5 running back right now, or top 6, you could say, for sure. Right now, if he stays healthy, he's a top 6 running back the rest of the season, and he walks into 2020 as a top 6 running back if he finishes out the year. So please understand that those words are coming out of my mouth right now. If he gets hurt, something I've always worried about all year with him, he had one of the most gruesome knee injuries. He's a bruising, abusive runner. If you try and hit him, he hits you. These are the kinds of running backs that take a beating in a different way, like Derrick Henry, like Leonard Fournette, that have a little bit more injury risk. And if he gets hurt and Hunt comes in and does well, mark my words, everyone's going to be like, whoa, I didn't say Nick Chubb was top 5 for sure. We'll see. We'll see how it finishes. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan. I've been saying that him with Hunt handcuffed, which I took a lot of heat for in January, February, March. How could you draft a guy, Smitty, that's out half a year? Because the guy at your tail end of your bench, you better hope never gets into your lineup before week 9 or week 10. Another running back that's going to be interesting to evaluate in the offseason, depending on how he finishes, is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is like arguably top 3 or 4 in most scoring right now. Yeah, somewhere around that range. And if he continues to play well and finishes out the year strong, is he a top 8 overall pick in 2019? If he struggles, let's say 2 games in a row, he will be a 3rd rounder. Like, it's such a crazy stark difference, but what a couple games can do to somebody's ADP in the following year, it's gonna be crazy.
It's so true. And one thing that you have to remember about Aaron Jones is that he went from the Mike McCarthy debacle of a coaching staff, right? And now he moves into a new regime who said with LaFleur, they said that they're going to run the football and they're only going to use Aaron Jones, that Jamal Williams isn't going to be a complimentary back. Then, actually, it was Matt Harmon who made this comparison. They're almost like the Kamara and Ingram of 2019, where you can start them both and they're both going to be putting up points. So I kind of worry a little bit, but at the same time, I would never worry drafting Kamara.
Yeah.
As far as the top 8 overall player, I think that's a little too rich for my blood, just given the Packers. I do think that they're passing much less to their receivers this season. I'm not exactly sure why. If it has to do with the coaching staff, I would assume so. a lot more intermediate passes. But, you know, when you're throwing against linebackers, it's much easier to get your guy in space than versus your wide receivers.
I hate to do this to you, but I do have to run. I didn't look at the time until right now. I have to actually go pick up my daughter, but
it's all good, man.
Yeah, I'm going to cut it here. And for those that don't know, giving away a jersey on Instagram, go to The Fantasy Football Show, courtesy of Fantasy Suits, who's giving us the jersey to give away. And so join me over there and follow this guy right here, Fantasy Suits on Instagram and fantasysuits.com. And go to sleeperu.com and go to thefantasyfootballshow.com or youtube.com/thefantasyfootballshow. And we'll do this again soon. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.